rise for the academic procession. All of you, please rise for the academic procession.
I declare the 57th Convocation of the Indian Statistical Institute open. Dear Chief Guest, Professor Sir David John Spiegelhalter, Fellow of the Royal Society, OBE, Chair, Winton Center for Risk and Evidence Communication, Department of the Mathematics and Mathematical Statistics, University of Cambridge, United Kingdom. Special guest, Dr. G.P. Samanto, Chief Statistician of India and Secretary, MOSPI, Government of India. Director, ISI, Professor Sanghamitra Bandavad, Dean of Studies, Professor Amita Pal, distinguished members of the Academic Council, faculty and non-faculty members of ISI, guests, friends from the media, and most importantly, the graduating students and their parents. A very good afternoon to all of you. It's a great pleasure for me to preside over the 57th annual convocation of our institute, in brief, Indian Statistical Institute, being held at the Amropali at its Kolkata campus. ISI was established on December 17, 1931 by the great visionary, Professor Prashanta Chandra Mahalanobis, Fellow of the Royal Society, Padma Vibhushan. It grew out of the statistics laboratory which was set up by him in Presidency College, Calcutta. ISI is an institute of national importance as recognized by an act of the Parliament of India enacted in 1959. It has a pan-India presence with headquarters at Kolkata and centers at Delhi, Bengaluru, Chennai, and Tezpur. The small banyan tree that was planted 92 years ago has grown and its branches spread out to what we see all today. And that symbolizes the motto of our institute, unity in diversity. The institute offers degrees ranging from BStat and BMath, which are our two flagship programs, undergraduate programs, to various postgraduate degrees and diplomas, including MStat and MMath, Master of Science in Quantitative Economics, Master of Science in Library and Information Science, Master of Science in Quality Management Science, Master of Technology in Computer Science, Master of Technology in QR and OR, Master of Technology in Cryptology and Security, and PhDs. In today's convocation, as I've been told, about 200 students will be receiving degrees and diplomas in person and 165 in absentia. I congratulate all these students, graduating students, their parents, and their teachers for this great achievement. I'm indeed delighted to be present and share this afternoon with you all to celebrate a red letter day of your life. Please remember, the ISI degrees that you will be receiving today carry a big brand name all over the world. As the president of Indian Statistical Institute, I do take pride to see that in spite of difficulties and challenges that you have faced during the COVID pandemic and its aftermath, you all could complete your studies and receive your degrees in time without delay. For this, I would like to thank the teachers as well as the non-scientific staff of our institute for their dedication and support during those challenging times. I pray that you are endowed with the necessary strength, courage, and wisdom to bring welfare to yourselves, to your families, and to your fellow beings. In the process, I'm sure you will contribute to the progress of our nation and make your alma mater and the country proud of your achievements. We have among us today a world-famous statistician, Professor Sir David John Spiegelhalter, FRS OBE, who has kindly accepted our invitation and traveled all the way from United Kingdom to attend and grace the ceremony as the chief guest and delivered the convocation speech. He is a highly cited scientist with a Google Scholar H index of 120 as of today and more than 140K citations. We have also with us Dr. G.P. Samanta, Chief Statistician of India and the Secretary of our parent ministry, MOSPI, Government of India, as the special guest. I am sure our graduating students will be greatly benefited from their inspiring words and advice. Our director, Professor Sanghamita Bandyopadhyay, will be highlighting in a report the various features and achievements of Indian Statistical Institute during the past 1 year. Our Dean, Professor Amita Pal, will give the vote of thanks. With just a few words, I welcome you all to today's ceremony, and I wish all the graduating students a grand success in their future endeavor. Thank you. Jai Hind. I now request Professor Sanghamita Bandyopadhyay, Director, Indian Statistical Institute, to present the annual review.
A very good afternoon to all of you. President of the Indian Statistical Institute, Professor Shankar Kumar Pal, Secretary, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, and Chief Statistician of India, Dr. G.P. Samanto, Chief Guest of the Convocation, Professor Sir David John Spiegelhalter, my very dear students, parents, members of the faculty, staff, guests, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to all of you to the 57th Convocation of the Indian Statistical Institute. We are delighted and honored to have in our midst the renowned statistician, Professor Sir David John Spiegelhalter, a fellow of Churchill College, Cambridge, who will address our graduating students on this very important day of their lives. We are thankful to Professor Sir Spiegelhalter for accepting to be the chief guest of this event, thus enabling us to continue our tradition of having our graduating students listen to some of the very best minds of at the convocation. Time flies. It seems that it was just the other day I was standing here presenting the annual review on the occasion of the 56th Convocation of the Institute. The year 2022 saw the Institute emerging cautiously from the pandemic, with the academic and research programs returning to hybrid and fully physical modes. Classes reopened, and the much needed and sorely missed vibrancy has returned to the campus. The pandemic left many bruises. While still coping with those, the Institute was shocked to lose several workers, including 2 office bearers and council members of the Institute in quick succession. With a heavy heart, we bid adieu to our Dean of Studies, Professor Saurabh Ghosh, and to the Professor in charge of Physics and Earth Sciences Division, Professor Sharbani Patranobis Deb, among others. However, in this cycle of life and death, time moves on. Work continues. So here we are today, celebrating along with our very dear students the hour of their success, their graduation. After a hiatus of 2 years, the International Statistical Education Center, ISEC, once again welcomed a new batch of international students to its on-campus 10-month diploma program in 2022. All the academic programs returned to the physical mode. The Tri-Institute Postgraduate Diploma in Business Analytics program conducted jointly with IIM Calcutta and IIT Kharagpur, is continuing very well. Having experienced online programs all through the pandemic, the Institute launched its first fully online postgraduate diploma program in applied statistics. The Institute members conducted a large number of workshops and conferences in the headquarters and its different centers. I mentioned just some of these here. The first winter school on deep learning from perceptrons to transformers was organized in ISI Kolkata during January to March 2022. An international conference on quantum information and foundations was jointly conducted by ISI Kolkata along with University of Calcutta, SN Bose Center, National Center for Basic Sciences, and Bose Institute, Kolkata in February. A summer school for women in mathematics and statistics was conducted by ISI Bangalore in June 2022. The 7th Research Workshop and Conference on Statistical Methods in Finance was organized by ISI Bangalore in June-July 22. An interesting open day program titled Come, Explore, Engage, and Enjoy was organized by ISI Kolkata in June-July 22. A conference on analytic number theory was organized by ISI Kolkata in July 22. The Ashok Maitra Memorial Lectures 22-23, delivered by Professor Ramon von Handel, was organized by ISI Bangalore in August 2022. An outreach program on Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, expressing with artwork, was organized by ISI Kolkata on 15th August 22. An international conference on emerging digital library platform was organized by ISI Bangalore during August 22. A national conference on recent trends in microbial, plant, and animal research was conducted by ISI Kolkata in September 22. The 6th Annual SECFI Research and Policy Workshop was organized by ISI Delhi in collaboration with the Environment for Development during November 22. The 14th annual meeting of the Forum for Information Retrieval Evaluation, FIRE, was held at ISI Kolkata in December 22. An interdisciplinary workshop on machine learning for cryptology was also held at ISI Kolkata in December 22. The NCM workshop on Jacobi forms was jointly organized by ISI Northeast Center and IIT Guwahati in December 22. There were many such exciting events which were organized by the ISI faculty members throughout the year. I take great pride and pleasure to announce that, like yesteryears, a large number of prestigious awards have been bestowed upon the scientists and students of the Institute during the last year. I mention a few such achievements since the last convocation. Debashish Goswami of Theoretical Statistics and Mathematics Unit, Kolkata, has been elected as a Fellow of the Indian National Science Academy. Neena Gupta of the Theoretical Statistics and Mathematics Unit, Kolkata, was awarded Nari Shakti Puraskar by the President of India on March 8, 2022. B.V. Rajaram Bhatt of Theoretical Statistics and Mathematics Unit, Bangalore, has been elected as a Fellow of the National Academy of Sciences, India. Parthonil Roy of Theoretical Statistics and Mathematics Unit, Bangalore, has been elected as Fellow of the Indian Academy of Sciences. Farzana Afridi of Economics and Planning Unit, Delhi, has won the Mahalanobis Gold Medal National for 2020. Rituparna Sen of Applied Statistics Unit, Bangalore, became the country coordinator of International Statistics Literacy Project of International Statistical Institute. Shushmita Surkole of Advanced Computing and Microelectronic Unit received the VLSI Society of India Lifetime Woman Achiever Award 22. Umapato Pal of the Computer Vision and Pattern Recognition Unit, Kolkata, has been elected as Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering. Bishwanath Dotto of Documentation Research and Training Center, Bangalore, has received the MTSR 2022 Best Paper Award at the 16th International Conference on Metadata and Semantic Research held at the University College London, UK. Swagatam Das of Electronics and Communication Sciences Unit, Kolkata, has won the Best Paper Award in the category of Editor's Selection for the journal Applied Soft Computing by Elsevier. Shushmita Mitra and Ashish Ghosh of Machine Intelligence Unit have been elected as Fellows of the Asia Pacific Artificial Intelligence Association. B.S. Dayasagar of System Science and Informatics Unit, Bangalore, has been recognized as IEEE Geoscience and Remote Sensing Society Distinguished Lecturer by IEEE GRSS for the period 2020 to 2023. Sudhish Kumar Kattumanil of Applied Statistics Unit, Chennai, has received the Professor C.R. Rao Gold Medal from Indian Society for Probability and Statistics. Arunabh Sen of Economics and Planning Unit, Delhi, has received the Professor A.L. Nagar Fellow Award by the Indian Econometric Society given to an outstanding Indian scholar. E. Somanathan of Economics and Planning Unit, Delhi, has been selected for the prestigious class of Fellow Scholars 22 to 23 by the Center for Advanced Study in the Behavioral Sciences at Stanford University, USA. Mohammad Zafar Anis of SQC and OR Unit, Kolkata, has been elected Vice President of the International Society for Business and Industrial Statistics for 21 to 23. Kishore Chandra Satpathy of Library Documentation and Information Sciences Division has received the Best Paper Award for his paper presented at the International Conference on Knowledge Management in Higher Education Institutions held in Jaipur. Former director and currently the president of the institute, Professor S.K. Pal, became an elected member of the European Academy of Sciences and Arts. Our students have also done us proud. Mr. Shantanab Das, SRF, received the Best Poster Award at the 91st Annual Meeting of the Society of Biological Chemists, India, in December 22. Mr. Shiv Shankar Roy, Project Link person, has won the Best Poster Award at the 45th Symposium of the Optical Society of India. In the Simon Marais Mathematics Competition 22, ISI students Shobhik Roy and Amritendu Hait secured positions in the top quartile in the individual participants category and shared the Stonehenge Fleming Prize. In the pair participants category, ISI students Ishan Paul and Vaibhav Sherkar and Ritik Paul and Sopayon Dashgupta secured positions in the top quartile. The pair Ishan Paul and Vaibhav Sherkar received the Stonehenge Fleming Prize in the pair category. We are proud of the achievements of all of them. The institute continues to collaborate with academia, industry, R&D labs, and the government, and conducts a large number of sponsored and consultancy projects. I will just mention a few of them here. The rest are in the booklet. We collaborate with funding from DST, SERB, DBT, DRDO, ICMR, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, with Naval Armament Inspectorate, the West Bengal Power Development Corporation Limited, State Finance Commission of the Government of West Bengal, Quality Council of India, Bharat Electronics Limited, Bangalore, Defense Institute of Advanced Technology, Pune, Tata Memorial Center, European Commission, Tata Steel, and the list continues. I am profoundly grateful to Professor Sir David John Spiegelhalter, who graciously accepted our invitation to be the chief guest of the convocation and also had an interaction session today morning with the faculty members. Your invaluable words will go a long way in inspiring our graduating students to give their very best in all their future endeavors, sir. My heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Shamanto, who is the special guest of this function, and I thank you for making time to attend this event in spite of your busy schedule. Heartfelt gratitude to Professor Shankar Kumar Pal, the president of the institute, and Dr. Pranab Sen, the chairman of the ISI Council, for their guidance since they took charge a few months back. I acknowledge the contributions of our immediate past president, Shri Bibek Debroy, and immediate past chairman, Dr. Ashok Lahiri, for having guided the institute with their valuable experience and expertise. I take this opportunity to also thank Professor Dipti Prasad Mukherjee, Deputy Director, who has shouldered much of the load of running the institute. I thank the previous Dean of Studies, Professor Debashish Sengupta, and the current officiating Dean of Studies, Professor Amita Pal, and Professor Saurabh Ghosh, whose tenure as Dean ended abruptly and very painfully for all of us. I thank all the center heads, professors in charge, head SQC and OR division, associate deans, and students in charge, member Secretary Isaac, and the officiating Chief Executive Administration and Finance, Lieutenant Colonel Sandeep Pal, who have worked long and hard to ensure the smooth running of today's event, as well as the overall functioning of the institute. I thank all the workers, students, and scholars of the institute, and all the visitors to the Institute who have played their roles to enable the Institute to continue on its path of excellence. Special mention needs to be made of the Chief Statistician of India and Secretary Mosby, and all officials of the Nodal Ministry whose support is deeply appreciated. To those receiving their degrees today, this day marks the conclusion of your formal ties with the Institute as its students. At the same time, it also represents the start of a lifelong relationship as a friend with your alma mater. As you embark on your new journey, you will mostly be on your own now, without the handholding of a teacher, a mentor, or a guide. In this journey, you will make new friends who will walk a few steps with you and will then take their own ways while you take yours. There will be ups and downs, twists and turns all through this path. When the sailing is smooth, make as much progress as you can. Work hard, love, laugh, and enjoy as if there were no tomorrow. When the going gets tough, tighten your seatbelt and fight it out with grit and character. And at times, when things really fall apart, they will sometimes, hang on with all your might. And however unrealistic it might seem, never ever give up trying. I hope and wish that you get the strength to fearlessly face whatever life throws your way. In the words of Rabindranath, "Bipode more rokha karo, e nahe mor prarthona, bipode ami na jeno kori bhoy." I pray not that you shelter me from the dangers, but that you give me the strength to face them without fear. Inculcate in yourself the habit of reaching out. In this highly connected world, you stand a great chance of becoming very lonely. So reach out to people who need you and reach out to people when you need them. Dear friends, have high aspirations and work hard to attain them. Be innovative and adaptive and never forget to smile. Choose your battles and also choose your friends wisely. All those who praise you are not necessarily your friends. All those who criticize you are not necessarily your enemies. Listen to your critics carefully. Evaluate their criticism impartially and make course correction if you realize your critics are correct. And stick to your path if you are convinced that the criticism is misplaced. I do really hope this institute has not only trained you in your respective subjects, but has also inculcated in you the traits of an honest, hardworking, and compassionate human being. At the end of the day, that is what really matters. My best wishes to all of you for a very bright future. Spread your wings, soar high, and make a mark in this world. Thank you. Jai Hind. May I now request our President to felicitate the Chief Guest of the Convocation, Professor Sir David Spiegelhalter, FRS OBE. May I now request our President to felicitate the special guest of the convocation, Dr. G.P. Samanto.
Now I request our special guest, Dr. G.P. Samanto, Chief Statistician of India and Secretary MSPI, to deliver his speech. Professor Samanto.
A very good afternoon to you all. Professor Shankar Pal, President, Indian Statistical Institute, Professor Sir David Spiegelhalter, Chair, Winton Center for Risk and Evidence Communication. Some mic is on. Professor Sir David J. Spiegelhalter, Chair, Winton Center for Risk and Evidence Communication, University of Cambridge, and today's Chief Guest of the Honor. Professor Sangapatra Bandyopadhyay, Director of Indian Statistical Institute. Professor Amita Pal, Dean of Studies, Indian Statistical Institute, dignitaries on and off the dais, faculty, researcher, dear students and parents, all participants of the event, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure and an honor to be asked to deliver a speech at this convocation ceremony. Convocation is a very special moment, I know, in the life of a student. And I also have been generously introduced by Director of Indian Statistical Institute. I just thought to add myself one of my introduction, that the place where we are attending this event today, more than 3 decades ago, I received my degree from this place, same popularly known as Amropali or Amrakunj. 1989, I received the Master of Statistics, MStat degree. So it is always a happy occasion for me to come back to home. It is a homecoming event. And first of all, let me also congratulate all the graduating students here. Please accept my hearty congratulations for having received the degree which are just being conferred upon you. You have completed what is by most standard a very difficult training program. I wish you all a very bright and contented future. I am also thankful to Professor Bandyopadhyay, Director of ISI. I usually say Indian Statistical Institute because there are multiple ISI. So Indian Statistical Institute and her team for giving me the privilege and the pleasure of being with you at this eventful moment. This is also a great opportunity to come back to the Institute once again, and I don't wait for any invitation to visit this Institute. As I said, I always love visiting my alma mater, and I am very proud of being student of this alma mater. I feel happy whenever I am in the company of budding scholars. I thought I will devote more of the students who are acquiring the degree, getting the degree today. So please excuse others, please excuse me. I will be primarily focusing on them, addressing them. It makes me nostalgic and reminds me of my old age when I began my professional career. And the convocation ceremony marks the completion of your course of training. This also marks the beginning of your professional life, be it in the area of economics, computer science, data analytics, data science, statistics, and other related fields. The Indian Statistical Institute, as President of ISI already mentioned, is founded by the Doyen of Statistics, Professor P.C. Mahalanovich. Over the years, it has attracted various outstanding personalities, and also many outstanding personalities has been passed out from this institute. Professor Mahalanovich also created the official statistical system in the country. He was the architect of Central Statistical Organization and the National Sample Survey Organization, two major statistical wings of Government of India. In his view, statistics is a key technology having its bearing on every walk of life. As regards importance of statistics in national development, Professor Mahalanovich said, statisticians, I mean the student of ISI, in fact have a fourfold task in national development. First, to conduct properly organized surveys for the collection of analysis and interpretation of relevant statistical data. Secondly, on the basis of such information, to help in the choice of an efficient program of action. Third, when the plan goes into operation, to measure the progress of work and to assess the results achieved. And finally, on the basis of such assessment, either to report that work is proceeding as desired or to give the danger signal that results attain are not proceeding in accordance with the plan or are not commensurate with the effort, in which case then the plan itself may have to be modified. In this way, the four-step cycle would begin again. As we know, the world is changing very fast. Needs are changing, technologies are changing, and accordingly, people's expectations are changing. Institutions which are not able to keep pace with the fast-changing world are bound to be left behind and lose their relevance. The pace of the changes has resulted in many challenges before researchers and thinkers, and the role of academia in this context cannot be ignored. And I believe every challenges come with some potential opportunity. We just need to explore it and find out what benefits might be hidden behind that challenges. The whole paradigm is changing today. Every other day we come across one or other innovation. Perhaps we can say disruptive come creative innovation. Today, data, information, analysis, data analytics, all are needed almost real-time basis. With immense computing power, now people are creating very intelligent systems. We need to leverage them for the good of the society. Alternative solutions to the problems also need to be found out. The huge data which are getting generated every moment automatically and are available almost without any cost may be exploited to extract potentially useful information for decision making. This enormous data resources is attracting the new age data scientists to support evidence-based policy planning. For this purpose, I feel that stronger interaction between academia and practitioners, policymakers is very much essential to support evidence-based decision-making on almost real-time basis. Professor Daniel Kahneman, the Nobel Prize winner in economics, well known for his work on human judgment and decision-making, opined that humans essentially make decisions in two ways. One, a very fast, intuitive method, and second, slightly slower, reasoning and evidence-based method. Obviously, we know in today's world, we need to strike a balance between these two. In real world, depending upon the situation and the requirement, we need to judge how much time we are having and when to do very rigorous analysis and when some quick analysis we may require. So now I thought that couple of experiences I thought I will share before I conclude my talk today. When we come from the technical side or statistics or computer science, a challenge we face in real world is that communication. We may be getting fantastic results, we are giving very good conclusion, but other world where we are interacting with, they are not necessarily expert in this area, so it will be extremely challenging for us to communicate what I found out and how this might be integrated with his or her requirements. So this communication we need to improve, we need to always monitor, we need to, many times we just very good or we are just creating a skeleton, but we also perhaps need to pay the attention to add a storyline along with the skeleton. See, I have seen in my experience, I had an opportunity to teach sometime at IIT Mumbai. Otherwise, I am a primarily career central banker. I spent majority of my career in Reserve Bank of India, India's central bank. I had some opportunity to do postdoc at Harvard Kennedy School of Government. And I also had some opportunity to do UK government scholarship in King's College. Everywhere I found one thing is that statistician or analyst or computer scientist, data scientist, we are very good at extracting the skeleton. Like one example in financial market, risk management, I also was a professor in the area of financial risk management, financial derivatives and risk management. So there is something concept called beta. Beta is I'm just taking the name. Beta is a risk management concept in stock portfolio. We invest the money in the stock market. Similar concept in bond portfolio is duration. In derivative product, financial derivative product, delta, vega, gamma. To a statistician or to a computer scientist or to an analyst, all looks like a regression coefficient actually. So underlying similarity among all these measures are the statistical regression coefficient, but in the domain of finance, the color is added, the shape is added, and they take the form of beta, duration, delta, gamma, vega. So I thought this we need to also know, not only the skeleton, not only the regression coefficient, we need to know when the same regression coefficient is gamma, when it is vega, when it is delta. So in this context, therefore, I call upon all the students and researchers present here to come forward to use your skill to create synergy in evidence-based decision making to support the extraordinary growth and development trajectory on which our country is moving ahead. This will be befitting pledge for, this will be a befitting pledge for all the talents in this great institute of national importance, my alma mater, when we just celebrated the 74th anniversary of our Republic Day and worship Devi Saraswati, goddess of learning, on the same day. I always cherish the fond memories of student days in this great institute and feel proud of being a student of my alma mater. I am sure that same will be the case with all of you who are graduating today and from now, my boarding colleagues. I wish you make so much of significant contribution in your respective fields and toward the welfare of the society that your alma mater will also be proudly say that you are from this institute tomorrow. Wishing again all of you a bright future, and don't forget to celebrate for what you have achieved today. Jai Hind.
It is a privilege for me to introduce our today's chief guest, Professor Sir David Spiegelhalter, Fellow of the Royal Society, OBE. Professor Spiegelhalter's biodata is about 3 to 4 pages long, but I have made it a little short. Sorry, Professor, our chief guest. Professor Spiegelhalter is the chair of the Winton Center for Risk and Evidence, Communication in the Center for Mathematical Sciences at the University of Cambridge, which aims to improve the way that statistical evidence is used by health professionals, patients, lawyers and judges, media and policymakers. He was knighted in 2014 for services to medical statistics. He was the president of the Royal Statistical Society during 2017 to 2018. And he became a non-executive director of the UK Statistics Authority in 2020. His research interests in statistics include, but not limited to, number one, Bayesian approach to clinical trials, expert systems and complexity modeling, and epidemiology. Number two, graphical models of conditional independence. Number three, statistical software, and public understanding of risk. He has done considerable work with data related to COVID crisis. As I have already mentioned, he is a highly cited researcher. He has more than 300 publications in peer-reviewed journals only. He has authored and co-authored 7 books. His best-selling book, named The Art of Statistics, was published in 2019, and COVID by Numbers came out in 2021, very recent. He has considerable media presence, and he has utilized it to enhance public perception and understanding of probability and statistics in everyday life, as well as the notion of risk and uncertainty. He has contributed articles to newspapers, magazines, online sites, and blogs. He has appeared in numerous shows in radio and television. The list of honors and awards he has received, in addition to his fellowship of the Royal Society and knighthood, includes Guy medals in gold, silver, and bronzes, as well as the Michael Faraday Prize, awarded by the Royal Statistical Society, Weldon Memorial Prize and the medal from the University of Oxford, Outstanding Statistical Application Award from the American Statistical Association, and honorary doctorates from several universities. This is just an abstract. With this brief introduction, I now request Sir David Spiegelhalter to deliver the convocation address. Thank you.
President, special guest, Director, Dean, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for inviting me to give this address. I'm slightly nervous, but, whoops, yeah, I thought this would happen. But it is a great pleasure to be here, it really is. And I'd like to express my gratitude to Professor Bandyopadhyay for inviting me, and the Dean, Professor Amita Pal, for facilitating my visit. Thank you so much. It's also wonderful to be back here in Calcutta. It's my fourth visit. I was first here in 1984 when they were digging the metro, which takes us back a bit. I've got to admit, I love public transport. And the last time I was here, I didn't know if you knew, there are special guided tours you can do to the transport in Calcutta. Oh, it's wonderful. So I did the trains, the trams, the metro, the ferries, autos. It was for me, it was complete heaven. It's also a great opportunity to be in India again. Before the pandemic, my wife and I used to come for 3 or 4 weeks every year. And we've been to many places: Amritsar, Jaipur, Jaisalmer, Dharamsala, Goa, Hampi, Mysore, Assam, Meghalaya, and so on. But we've only just touched the surface. Statisticians know that averages are deeply inadequate descriptions. It's the variability that is so important. And India has got a lot of variability. It's my first visit to the ISI, even though, of course, I've known about it and its illustrious history since I started doing statistics and learned about the Professor Mahalanobis. Oh, I said it, I've been practicing. Mahalanobis. And I'm very pleased that yesterday I got a chance to visit his birthplace, which to me was like a pilgrimage. I do have, in fact, a few things in common with the professor. We've both been awarded an OBE, an FRS, the Weldon Prize from the University of Oxford, and we both enjoy punting in Cambridge. But sadly, I cannot cover the huge range of his skills and interests that lay at his remarkable vision of ISI as a centre of cross-disciplinary collaboration, which means I must apologise in advance that my talk is going to focus on statistics. I know the ISI covers so much more than just statistics. I hope you don't mind if I talk about my own journey. I studied mathematics at Oxford University. I really enjoyed the pure mathematics. But I'm not sure about you, but I have to admit that by the end of the second year, it all got a bit difficult. I kind of banged my head on the level of abstraction that I could manage. And so I was very happy to move into statistics. But I was extremely fortunate, I'm sure like many of you, to be inspired by a great teacher. My own was a young statistician called Adrian Smith, now Professor Sir Adrian Smith, the President of the Royal Society. he aroused my interest in probability and statistics, often through heated discussions in the pub. He was a convinced subjectivist Bayesian. Now, I'm very sorry that not only a minority in the audience will know what I'm talking about, I think, but he was in the process of translating into English De Finetti's famous book, The Theory of Probability, which starts with a powerful statement, probability does not exist. It's not the time or place to get into the arguments about whether probability exists or not, but I must say that the passion I felt when I was 20 and discussing this has never left me. And I'm always happy to join in an argument about probability. So just catch me later, possibly over tea. I then did methodological research, largely in Bayesian methods in biostatistics, and was fortunate to be involved in the revolution in Bayesian methods around 1990, when simulation methods, specifically Markov chain Monte Carlo, again, I'm sorry, this may be a mystery to many people, suddenly allowed Bayesian methods to be possible. And since then, of course, they've become very widely used in a huge range of applications. But I started teaching undergraduate mathematicians at Cambridge University. It's the same tripos that Mahalanobis did before he switched to physics. I gave a fairly traditional course, rather similar to the ISI undergraduate syllabus, and I do think there needs to be a core of good, mathematically trained statisticians that can take forward new methodology. And so, again, I congratulate ISI for its wonderful work in the training that it's doing. But when I started working in medical statistics, I started becoming involved in high-profile issues, which I could tell you about. Some of them were two public inquiries into scandals in the UK. The first was about the mortality rate of babies who are undergoing heart surgery at a particular hospital, Bristol Royal Infirmary. And they had been reported by a whistleblower about high mortality rates. And this was confirmed by a review of the data. And from our data analysis, we estimated that 35 more babies had died than would have been expected to in an average hospital. So this caused a lot of concern, and we had to give evidence to a public inquiry. And there in the front row of the audience were the families, the parents of the babies who had died. And this required great care because we were describing quite complex statistical methods, and that can sound quite harsh, quite unfeeling. And so we had to make it clear that we recognize that all of these statistics, in fact, represented individual stories and real people. And then a few years later, I was in the statistical team working into the inquiry into Harold Shipman. Now, this is an extraordinary case that you may find difficult to believe, but he was a family doctor in England, near Manchester, and he murdered at least 250 of his patients, probably up more nearer 400 of his patients, over 20 years. And he wasn't caught for 20 years. And we were asked, clear, we had the data of the deaths of his patients when they died, and by adapting industrial quality controlled methods, specifically the sequential probability ratio test, we concluded that if somebody had been looking at the data, he could have been caught years earlier, after only about 40 deaths. If people had been using proper statistics, it would have, or could have, saved hundreds of lives. But nobody was looking at the data. So this taught me that asking the right questions and getting the right data can be more important than the exact technical methods that are used for the analysis. Again, we had to give evidence with the families of the victims sitting in the front row. And this was repeated just a few months ago. We had another public inquiry into another scandal, and this was about people in the 70s and 80s who were given infected blood from blood transfusions, and thousands got either HIV or hepatitis C from that infected blood. And again, the family of the victims were sitting in the front row. So I started talking about these issues, about the use of statistics in these very important problems, and I found that I actually enjoyed demonstrating the power of statistics in the real world, and actually then changed my career. I went from being an academic researcher to being someone who worked on public understanding. I became a kind of performing statistician, if you can believe such a thing. And as you heard, I made TV programs, I wrote popular books, made radio programs and so on, and got to know how journalism and the media works. And then COVID came along, Corona. This was a busy time. It was a difficult time for all of us. But I was asked a lot of questions by the media about all the numbers in the news, all the numbers we were hearing, how reliable they were, what they meant. This was very challenging indeed. There are so many complex statistical issues around the virus. What is a death from COVID? I can think of at least 6 definitions. The testing regimes, false positives tests, false negatives, excess deaths, and so on. A colleague and I wrote a weekly column in one of the top Sunday newspapers, The Observer, for the whole of 2021, 50 articles on statistics. Only 350 words, which is very difficult. And the challenge I always set now people who are interested in communication is, how would you explain to somebody, an audience, your family perhaps, that from the middle of 2021, the majority of people who died from COVID in the UK had been fully vaccinated. Most deaths were people who had been fully vaccinated. How do you explain that when somebody claims this shows the vaccine doesn't work or it's dangerous? Because there's been a lot of misinformation. Statisticians have to deal with misinformation. President Bolsonaro of Brazil used this UK data to suggest that the vaccines were giving people COVID. But a little bit of statistical common sense, or even using Bayes' theorem, tells us that when nearly everybody has been vaccinated, and the vaccine isn't perfect, then these what we might call breakthrough deaths in people who have been vaccinated can outnumber the deaths in the unvaccinated group, even though the risk is higher in those who haven't been vaccinated. This is quite difficult to explain, and a good story can help. And the story I use is about seatbelts. Most people who die in car accidents are wearing seatbelts. This doesn't mean that seatbelts are dangerous or don't work or don't help. It's just that nearly everybody is wearing a seatbelt, and they're not perfect. They're not perfect at all. So the pandemic, I think, demonstrated to everyone how important statistics are, both for those making policy and for all of us trying to understand what is going on in the world. But as I said, we know that statistics can be used or misused to support extreme claims, especially on social media, whether it's Twitter, WhatsApp, TikTok, or anything else. And it can be challenging to keep a middle way between polarized opinions. There's always pressure from the media as well to take a strong view be very critical of the government or critical of somebody else. And I think it should be resisted by statisticians and other scientists. Also, should we engage with extreme skeptics, those who think that vaccines are dangerous, or on the other side, people who think COVID isn't important? Personally, I don't bother to engage with people like that. The people with extreme views tend to have little regard for the rules of engagement, for proper discussion, and they'll always come up with another claim which would require a lot of work to show it was wrong. So I don't talk to them. The pandemic also convinced me of the value of what we can call trustworthy communication, meaning when we try to inform people rather than trying to persuade them, not trying to manipulate them. It means we have to talk about the benefits and harms, the pros and the cons, the winners and the losers, and acknowledge the inevitable uncertainties. Our team, when the AstraZeneca vaccine was linked to serious blood clots in the brain, we produced an infographic that showed the benefits and harms of the vaccine that was used in the government communication. But we have to describe it by age. For people my age, the benefits clearly outweighed the harms. Yep, stick it in me. But for younger people, it wasn't so clear at all. And so the government policy changed to not give the AstraZeneca vaccine to younger people. And everyone accepted that, I think partly because we were very clear about the information. So it's also not my role, I don't think, to criticize the government. The only time I did speak out was about the use of statistics in the public briefings on television, because they were just throwing around lots of big numbers to try to sound impressive. The statistics were being used for decoration rather than to try to actually help us. I called this number theatre, which is, I think, the wrong kind of performance. So, as was mentioned, I'm a non-executive director of the UK Statistics Authority, which is the body that runs all the official statistics in the UK. So we were lucky in the UK to set up very early a proper COVID infection survey in order so we could monitor the population for antibodies, for infections, symptoms, and so on. It's very interesting, again, which I think is a good lesson, that this was a close collaboration between the official statistics body and academics in Oxford University. And that enabled the survey to use the most advanced methodology, MRP, multi-level regression and post-stratification, for those who are interested, fully Bayesian analysis. So this is the most important government statistics analyzed with a fully Bayesian, really complex model. So I used to think that official statistics and surveys were a bit dull, to be honest. I didn't like them. But I've completely changed my mind. I think they're both important and challenging, require deep methodology combined with a real interest in influencing policy and raising public understanding. This is exactly what the professor demonstrated so many years ago in his vision of surveys being vital for planning policy, the 5-year plans. As Sir Ronald Fisher said, one of my illustrious predecessors here, at the first convocation of the ISI, he said, "I need hardly say that I refer to the emergence of a statistically competent technique of sample survey with which I believe Professor Mahalanobis's name will always be associated." And it seems to me that India still provides the ideal platform for such interdisciplinary work. It's got an incredibly strong history in statistics, both official and methodological. It's got enormous technical skills with a very digitally aware population. And of course, it's got a hugely, a big and very varied population for biostatistical research. So I hope I've shown that statistics plays an increasingly important role in the modern world in trying to establish what is actually true Yeah, whatever that means, I'm not sure. But the subject must adapt, and I see two specific challenges. The growth of data science and machine learning, and raising the role and the profile of statistics in public life. First, I believe that statisticians should welcome the rise of data science and machine learning, although sometimes it can feel strange to hear logistic regression being used as a machine learning method. I mean, some US statistics departments are already renaming themselves as statistics and data science. The Royal Statistical Society is founding a new data science journal. I do think it's important that statistics training includes all the exciting ideas and challenges arising from the analysis of really big and complex data. My university, Cambridge, which can be extremely old-fashioned, even medieval in its approach, has had to change and develop courses on modern methods in statistics. And it's very encouraging to hear from the director about all the ISI innovations going on. The winter school in deep learning is going on even as I speak. So second, I think if statistics is going to raise its profile, it requires statisticians to stick their heads above the parapet and engage with real life. This doesn't mean taking sides, I don't think, in political or social arguments. It just means trying to raise the level of the argument by making clear the strengths and the limitations of available evidence. So, just to finish off, old people are supposed to give advice, wise advice. Now, I fulfill one of those criteria. I'm old. I'm not sure about my wisdom, but here goes anyway. You're going to get advice whether you want it or not. Tough luck. So if any of you feel enthusiastic about communication, which I hope some of you do, not everybody, but some might, what can you do? I think the first thing is to really try to improve any presentation you give. Any opportunity you have just to present to your colleagues or anybody, to really work at it and try to do a good performance. Make it interesting. Use images. Even tell jokes or be funny if you can. Doesn't suit everybody. But learn to stick to the time allowed, pay attention to the audience, and get feedback from a critical friend. We've heard about how it's good to have critical friends. Second, try explaining your work or statistics in the real world to your friends and family. Can that side of the room explain things to that side of the room? That's the important thing. I always imagine I'm talking to my old aunt, who is no longer with us, and to be honest, she was not good at understanding things. And so she was a real challenge. So I always have it in my mind, can I explain this to my aunt? It forces you out of using jargon, of using technical terms. You can't use all the complex phrases. We try to train statistical communicators and tell them, to explain ideas like p-values as if they're on Twitter. They're only allowed a limited number of characters. And of course, you can never use phrases like confidence intervals or statistical significance or any of those things, just not allowed. I think third is also start to read good journalism, good science journalism, either online or anywhere else, and how good communicators can explain complex topics in simple language. I got media training. I was very lucky in my job. How to speak to a journalist, how to speak to a camera, and so on. I still get nervous, though. Still make mistakes. And I used to think I had to answer every question. But I learned during the pandemic that it was fine, in fact, a very good thing to say, that's not my job. I can't do that. You'll have to ask somebody else. Sometimes I was begging the interviewer, just ask me something I actually know about, please. An audience seemed to like that. It helps, though, to be quite successful in your field. That's why I think you need to work as hard as you can, as we heard, push, try to succeed, because that will always help. Your profile, your status will help you when you want to communicate. Maybe, though, the biggest lesson is that, as we've heard, things will go wrong. I've been on prime time television and had to be asked to unmute myself. I mean, this is quite embarrassing, it really is. But everything will go wrong, so you have to be ready to receive some criticism. But that's the lesson in everything, as we've heard. So, just to finish off, it's wonderful to have seen all of your students, all of you have worked so hard to gain your qualifications, and as we've heard, ready to embark on the next stage of your career. I think that mathematicians, statisticians, engineers, scientists, they just want to do a good job, help others to understand the world, improve the world. These, I believe, are very honourable professions, and I hope you're as proud to be part of them as I am. And of course, being an alumnus of the ISI means that you have a wonderful opportunity to reflect its fine heritage and take forward its vision into the world. So, all I can say is I wish you every good fortune in what you choose to do. Thank you very much indeed.
Now I request our director to announce names of the recipients of the degrees and diplomas.
Doctor of Philosophy. Sir, I have the honor to present before you the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and pray that they may be admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in recognition of their contributions to the advancement of statistics, mathematics, quantitative economics, as well as computer science.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of the Indian Statistical Institute, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in recognition of your contributions to the advancement of statistics, mathematics, quantitative economics, as well as computer science, and charge you that in thoughts, word, and action, you show yourselves worthy of the degree.
Debashish Chatterjee, PhD in Statistics. Supervisor is Dr. Saurabh Bhattacharya of ISRO, ISI, Kolkata. Quickly. Sanchari Boshak, PhD in Statistics, under Professor Oyendranath Basu, ISRO, ISI, Kolkata. Ramlal Debnath, PhD in Mathematics, under Professor Joydev Sarkar. Gopal Maiti, PhD in Mathematics, under Dr. Shatadol Ganguly, Stat Math Unit, ISI, Kolkata. Shumit Kumar, PhD in Mathematics, under Professor Ritubruto Munshi, Stat Math Unit, Kolkata. Abhinandan Sinha, PhD in Quantitative Economics, under Professor Abhirup Sarkar, Economics Research Unit, ISI, Kolkata. Shreyoshi Banerjee, PhD in Quantitative Economics, under Professor Moni Pushpak Mitro, Economics Research Unit, ISI, Kolkata. Madhuparna Karmakar, PhD in Quantitative Economics, under Dr. Shobhik Roy, Applied Statistics Unit, ISI, Kolkata. Nayana Dash, PhD in Computer Science, under Dr. Gautam Pal, CSRU, ISI, Kolkata. Debopriya Roy, PhD in Computer Science, under Professor Bhabatosh Chando, ECSU, ISI, Kolkata. Dalu Jacob, in Computer Science, under Dr. Matthew C. Francis of ISI, Chennai. Diptendu Chatterjee, PhD in Computer Science, under Professor Bimal Roy and Dr. Rishiraj Bhattacharya. Annisha Law, PhD in Computer Science, under Professor Ashish Ghosh, Machine Intelligence Unit, ISI, Kolkata. Shaumo Dash, PhD in Computer Science, under Dr. Gautam Paul, CSRU ISI Kolkata. Ekta Shah, PhD in Computer Science under Professor Pradipto Maji, Machine Intelligence Unit ISI Kolkata. Ankita Mondol, PhD in Computer Science under Professor Pradipto Maji, Machine Intelligence Unit ISI Kolkata. Shubhrajyoti Chaudhuri, PhD in Computer Science under Professor Nikhil Ranjan Pal, ECSU ISI Kolkata. Snehalika Lal, PhD in Computer Science under my supervision. Shuprita Talnikar, PhD in Computer Science, Professor Mridul Nandi of Applied Statistics Unit ISI Kolkata. Debashrita Chakraborty, PhD in Computer Science under Professor Ashish Ghosh, Machine Intelligence Unit ISI Kolkata. MTech in Computer Science. Sir, I have the honor to present before you the candidates for the degree of Master of Technology in Computer Science on their having completed the prescribed course of training at the institute and having passed the qualifying examination, and pray that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Technology in Computer Science.
Hello. Hello. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of Indian Statistical Institute, I confer on you the degree of Master of Technology in Computer Science in recognition of your having completed and prescribed course of training and having passed the qualifying examinations, and charge you that in thought, word, and action you show yourselves worthy of the degree.
Nirupam Boshak. Shoham Banerjee. Uddalok Sarkar. Luna Vishwas. Arkodeep Bukshi. Shoham Chatterjee. Ravindra Sindhia. Rahul Kushwaha. Sujan Das. Avanish Kumar. Ayush Chauhan. Akash Kumar Gupta. Animesh Pal. Neeraj Kumar. Aileni Manideep. Ashu Khodwal. Kaushik Pati. Sachin Saurav Munda. Nikhil Bagaria. Anubhav Trivedi. Ankit Gupta. Nidhi Pal. Vikas Gupta. Tanmay Shatra. Suraj Lekhraj Yadav. Partho Koyal. Shayon Ray, Muhammad Azad Ansari, MTech in Cryptology and Security. Sir, I have the honor to present before you the candidates for the degree of Master of Technology in Cryptology and Security on their having completed the prescribed course of training at the institute and having passed the qualifying examination, and pray that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Technology in Cryptology and Security.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of Indian Statistical Institute, I confer on you the degree of Master of Technology in Cryptography and Security in recognition of your having completed the prescribed course of training and having passed the qualifying examination, and charge you that in thought, word, and in action you show yourselves worthy of the degree.
Orko Debnath, সৌম্যকান্তি সাহা, রূপসা মিত্র, গ্যারি ফেরান্ডো কুপার রানী, ইন্দ্রনীল ঠাকুর, মনীশ কুমার, শুভ কর, মনীষা পান্ডা, স্বাগতা শাসমল, আসিফ কালাম, দীপা মণ্ডল, কে সাই বাবা, দীপ বিশ্বাস, সুবীর দাস, সুবীর কুমার পল, सोहम संजय जेमसे, दिलीप साहू, तूफान सिंह महापात्र, मत्तो उमा महेश्वर रेड्डी, उज्जवल दास, पौशाली दे, Master of Technology in Quality, Reliability and Operations Research. Sir, I have the honor to present before you the candidates for the degree of Master of Technology in Quality, Reliability and Operations Research on their having completed the prescribed course of training at the institute and having passed the qualifying examination, and pray that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Technology in Quality, Reliability and Operations Research.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of Indian Statistical Institute, I confer on you the degree of Master of Technology in Quality, Reliability and Operation Research in recognition of your having completed the prescribed course of training and having passed the qualifying examination, and charge you that in thought, word and action you show yourselves worthy of the degree.
Siddharth Gupta, কুনাল চক্রবর্তী, আকাশ গুপ্তা, পার্থসারথী ঘোষ, অনিরুদ্ধ বর্ধন, সৌম্যদীপ দে, পুন্নাগ ভট্টাচার্য, প্রমতোষ রে, কৌস্তব সিংঘল, रवि कुमार सिंह, सचिन प्रमोद पंडित, अन्वेष सरकार, भेषज कुमार चंद्र, राजा हुसैन, कुंदन शाह, आनंद साहू, शुभम शाह, उमेश कुमार सिंह, सूरज कुमार, MStat, Master of Statistics. Sir, I have the honor to present before you the candidates for the degree of Master of Statistics on their having completed the prescribed course of training at the institute and having passed the qualifying examination, and pray that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Statistics.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of the Indian Statistical Institute, I confer on you the degree of Master of Statistics in recognition of your having completed the prescribed course of training and having passed the qualifying examination, and charge you that in thought, word and action you show yourselves worthy of the degree.
Ribhu Bonik, Muhammad Anis Parvez, Orchi De, Shauhardo Re, Shobhik Mahanta, Amit Tapriya, Ritik Poddar, Moyuk Das, Sudhanshu Gupta, Anjali, Anirban Bhattacharya, Muntasir Sheikh, Madhumita Nandi, Tamogno Gupta, Anubhav Mondal, Shomak Laha, Shomik Mondal, Ranojoy Dotto, Kaustubh Paul, Anisha Ghosh, Orchik Guho, Kaustubh Ghosh, পারমিতা অধিকারী, রোহন খাটুয়া, সৌম্যজিৎ ভট্টাচার্য, সুপ্রিয় সরকার, पंकज चौहान, दिगंत भट्टाचार्य, प्रेम आनंद, सप्तर्षि घोषाल, दीप रंजन पाल, सिद्धू कुमार, Master of Mathematics. Sir, I have the honor to present before you the candidates for the degree of Master of Mathematics on their having completed the prescribed course of training at the institute and having passed the qualifying examination, and pray that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Mathematics.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of the Indian Statistical Institute, I confer on you the degree of Master of Mathematics in recognition of your having completed the prescribed course of training and having passed the qualifying examination, and charge you that in thought, word and action you show yourself worthy of the degree.
Haritro Bera, সৌরভ দে, বিশ্বরূপ সাহা, कर्मेश अग्रवाल, नवारुण दत्त, देवज्योति साहा, अनिरुद्ध माझी, सत्यम शुभम, हिमाशीष तालुकदार, गहीन माइती, दैपायन सरकार, Master of Science in Quantitative Economics. Sir, I have the honor to present before you the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Quantitative Economics on their having completed the prescribed course of training at the institute and having passed the qualifying examination, and pray that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Science in Quantitative Economics.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of the Indian Statistical Institute, I confer on you the degree of Master of Science in Quantitative Economics in recognition of your having completed and prescribed course of training and having passed the qualifying examination, and charge you that in thought, word and action you show yourself worthy of the degree.
Rajat Jain, अभिज्ञान अधिकारी, शोएब अशरफ, रवि पांडे, आदर्श अग्रवाल, आर्यमान अरोरा, दीपांशी तुली, तुषार गोयल, मीत मेहता, मेघा गर्ग, रिधिवी श्रीवास्तव, सृष्टि जैन, तेजस्विनी यशवंत तभाने, इंसिया हनीफ, मीनाक्षी सोनी, अन्वेषा आशुतोष दास, ऋषभ गुप्ता, अदिति तिवारी, मेघा अमर, रोहन दास, श्रेयान सृजन, Master of Science in Library and Information Science. Sir, I have the honor to present before you the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Library and Information Science on their having completed the prescribed course of training at the institute and having passed the qualifying examination, and pray that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Science in Library and Information Science.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of the Indian Statistical Institute, I confer on you the degree of Master of Science in Library and Information Science in recognition of your having completed the prescribed course of training and having passed the qualifying examination, and charge you that in thought, word and action you show yourself worthy of the degree.
Arati S. Rishabh Kumar Gond, Nitesh Kumar, Yasin Hussain, Master of Science in Quality Management Science. Sir, I have the honor to present before you the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Quality Management Science on their having completed the prescribed course of training at the institute and having passed the qualifying examination, and pray that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Science in Quality Management Science.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of the Indian Statistical Institute, I confer you the degree of Master of Science in Quality Management Science in recognition of your having completed the prescribed course of training and having passed the qualifying examination, and charge you that in thought, word and action you show yourselves worthy of the degree.
Akash De, Bhavek Kukreja, Kamlesh Kumar Singh, Kesaboina Kalyan Kumar, Krishnendu Pine, निधि शशिकांत तलवार, प्रसन्न घोष, प्रीतम पाल, রোহিত মুখার্জি, সাবর্ণ দাস, সৌম্যদীপ গুঁই, ভাস্কর সামন্ত, विनीत कुमार सिंह, Bachelor of Statistics. Sir, I have the honor to present before you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Statistics Honours on their having completed the prescribed course of training at the Institute and having passed the qualifying examination, and pray that they may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Statistics Honours.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of the Indian Statistical Institute, I admit you to the degree of Bachelor of Statistics Honours in recognition of your having completed the prescribed course of training and having passed the qualifying examination, and charge you that in thought, word and action you show yourselves worthy of the degree.
চন্দ্রমৌলি চক্রবর্তী, সোহম মল্লিক, জ্যোতিষ্ক রায়চৌধুরী, অর্পণ ঘোষ, ঋতব্রত কর্মকার, সূর্যতপ বসু, সৌতিম দাস, ধ্রুব নন্দী, সুপ্রতীক বাসু, অনন্য বোস, অরুণাভ গাঁতাইত, अनिकेत जैन, सैयद साजिद हुसैन रिजवी, शाग्निक বিশ্বাস, অরুণাভ ভট্টাচার্য, সায়ন পল, रजित गोयल, अनुराग पाल, गुंडावरपु शिवराम, मृदुल माहेश्वरी, शुभम कुमार परिदा, अनन्यव्रत बड़ुआ, राहुल मिश्रा, नल्ला ऋत्विक नारायणा, गोकावरपु शिवा लोकेश, चिरंतन বিশ্বাস, সায়ন সাপুই, জায়রা হারম, प्रभुराम बिदासर, Bachelor of Mathematics. Sir, I have the honor to present before you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Mathematics Honours on their having completed the prescribed course of training at the institute and having passed the qualifying examination, and pray that they may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Mathematics Honours.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of the Indian Statistical Institute, I admit you to the degree of Bachelor of Mathematics Honours in recognition of your having completed the prescribed course of training and having passed the qualifying examination, and charge you that in thought, word, and action you show yourself worthy of the degree.
Alan Joseph. P. Anuradha Chakravarti. Anupam Nayak. Arghudip Chakraborty. Arun Vittal Vandakar. Balaji Subramaniam P. Kuntal Das. Parth Priyadarshan Iyer. Rothindranath Kormokar. Shandipan Misra. Snehin Shen. Nichenna Metla Vamsi Krishna. Yash Talreja. Abhinav Malik. Aman. Chenna Sai Sandeep. Devabroto Pal. Mohammed K. M. Rashmi Konnur. Rohan Raj Padhi. Shafal Das Bishwas. Shayantan Mondal. Abhash Bhargava. Amartya Priyadarshan Muthal. Sonali Priyadarshini Behra. Akhilesh Mondal. Anirban Chatterjee. Arpan Sinha. Postgraduate Diploma in Statistical Methods and Analysis. Sir, I have the honor to present before you the candidates for the Diploma of Postgraduate in Statistical Methods and Analytics on their having completed the prescribed course of training at the Institute and having passed the qualifying examination, and pray that they may be admitted to the Diploma of Postgraduate in Statistical Methods and Analytics.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of the Indian Statistical Institute, I admit you to the Diploma of Postgraduate in Statistical Methods and Analytics in recognition of your having completed and prescribed course of training and having passed the qualifying examination, and charge you that in thought, word, and action you show yourselves worthy of the diploma.
Kushagra Bhatnagar. Afridi Beg. Cheruku Vinay. Ela Shresht. Sanatan Paul. Sudipto Kumar Hajra. Abhishek Ray. Binit Chand Bhandari. Palash Purkayastho. Sunsuma Boro. Aditya Raj. Gayatri AG. Moshumi Maiti. Naveen Kumar Gupta. Arindam Bhattacharjee. Barno Sarkar. Vicky Chetri. Manoj Chetri. Mrinal Jyoti Burman. Payal Priya. Rituparna Dotto. Shostik De. Trisha Bishas. Postgraduate Diploma in Agricultural and Rural Management with Statistical Methods and Analytics. Sir, I have the honor to present before you the candidates for the Diploma of Postgraduate in Agricultural and Rural Management with Statistical Methods and Analytics on their having completed the prescribed, having passed the qualifying examination, and pray that they may be admitted to the Diploma of Postgraduate in Agricultural and Rural Management with Statistical Methods and Analytics.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of the Indian Statistical Institute, I admit you to the Diploma of Postgraduate in Agricultural and Rural Management with Statistical Methods and Analytics in recognition of your having completed the prescribed course of training and having passed the qualifying examination, and charge you that in thought, word, and action you show yourselves worthy of the diploma.
Kavin Kumar. Prince Singhal. Suman Midda. Ratna Guho Sarkar. Adina P. Sir, I have the honor to place before you the names of all the candidates for degrees and diplomas listed in the citation who could not present themselves today and pray that they may be admitted to the respective degrees and diplomas.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of the Indian Statistical Institute, I award them the respective degrees and diplomas in absentia in recognition of their having passed the qualifying examinations and charge them in thought, word, and action they show themselves worthy of the degrees and diplomas. Now I request the Director of Indian Statistical Institute to announce the names of the recipients of the prizes and medals. And I also request our chief guest, Professor Sir David Spigenhalter, to present the prizes and medals to the recipients.
ISI Alumni Association, Mrs. M.R. Iyer Memorial Gold Medals to outstanding students of the Institute. BStat Honours, Ritobroto Kormokar. MTech QROR, Promotesh Rai. ISI Alumni Association Rashi Ray Memorial Medal for Outstanding Performance in MTech in Computer Science Program 2020-2022. Uddalok Sarkar. SH Aravind Gold Medal for Outstanding Performance in BMath Honours Program 2019 to 2022. Snehin Sen. Snehin. তোমার নামটা বলে কি করে বলো তো? Snehin Sen, আচ্ছা বেশ। Nikhilesh Bhattacharya Memorial Gold Medal for the best performance in statistics in BStat Honours Program 2019 to 2022, Dhruvo Nondi. Mukul Chaudhuri Cash Award as the Best Female Student in BStat Honours First Year Batch 2021-2022, Shebanti Basu. Mukul Chaudhuri Cash Award as the Best Female Student in BStat Honours Second Year Batch 2021-2022, Oitijha Shaha. Congratulations. D. Basu Memorial Gold Medal as the Most Outstanding Student in the BStat Honours Program 2019-2022, Aniket Jain. Congratulations, Aniket. Shubhashachi Roy Memorial Gold Medal for doing the best project work in second year of MStat program 2020-2022, Muhammad Anis Parvez. Congratulations. Dr. N.S. Iyengar Award for the Best Student of Econometrics 2020-2022, Abhigyan Adhikari. Congratulations. Shanghamitra Das Memorial Gold Medal for Outstanding Performance in MSQE Program 2020-2022, Meet Mehta. Congratulations.
I now request the director of our institute to announce the names of the recipients of the postgraduate diploma in business analytics.
Sir, I have the honor to present before you the candidates for the Diploma of Postgraduate in Business Analytics on their having completed the prescribed course of training at the Indian Statistical Institute, the Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta, and the Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, and having passed the qualifying examination, and pray that they may be admitted to the Diploma of Postgraduate in Business Analytics.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of the Indian Statistical Institute, I admit you to the Diploma of Postgraduate in Business Analytics in recognition of your having completed the prescribed course of training and having passed the qualifying examination, and charge you that in thought, word, and action, you show yourselves worthy of the diploma.
Siddhant Bansal. Parth Tyagi. Abhinav Ranjan. Abhishek Bansal. Yeram Setti, Ellen Siddharth. Asim Raghav. Aditya Parikh. Rahul Sharma. Ankit Gupta. Utkarsh Yadav. Hitesh Kashyap. Mahajan Aditya Avinash. Avishkar. Raval Nisarg Harshad Kumar. Shashwat Shubham Mohanta. Vatan Goyal. Sudarshan Kumar. Gaurav Gopal Mondal. Ram Shetty Prashant. Pilla Ravi Kiran. Anis Mohammed. Himanshu Mishra. R.M. Purushot Kumar, Joydeep Das, Guri Jyoti Krishna, Akash Chaudhary, Vijay Kumar P, Kota Sri Harsha, Rajiv Krishna, Shishir Kumar Das, Y. Aditya, Madhur Bhatt, Vemula Yamini Josna, Tammu Leela Krishna Prasad Verma, Vigneshwaran K.N., Ayon Banerjee, Deveshwar Moitro, Rakasi Yashwant Reddy, because I don't have any other name. Sir, I have the honor to place before you the names of all the candidates for postgraduate diploma in business analytics listed in the citation who could not present themselves today and pray that they may be admitted to the diploma.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of the Indian Statistical Institute, I award them the postgraduate diploma in business analytics in absentia in recognition of their having passed the qualifying examinations and charge them that in thought, word, and action they show themselves worthy of the diploma. I now request the Director, Indian Statistical Institute, to announce the names of the recipients of the prizes for the postgraduate diploma in business analytics and program. And I also request our special guest, Dr. G.P. Samanto, to present the prizes to the recipients.
Cash prizes for recognizing outstanding academic performances in the PGDBA program 2020-2022 batch. Siddhant Bansal. Congratulations. Parth Tyagi. Congratulations. I will now read out the names of the research fellows who have been awarded PhD degree of academic bodies other than ISI for work done in ISI with ISI fellowship. Srilena Kundu under Professor Dibakar Ghosh, Sharbendu Rokkhit under Dr. Dibakar Ghosh, Arnab Roy again under Dibakar Ghosh, Tamal Guho under Professor Preeti Parashar, Abhishek Nashkar under Professor Supratik Pal, Akash Mullik under Professor Subrata Kumar Roy, Anushka Ghosh under Professor Shushmita Mukhopadhyay, Shandip Mondal under Dr. Abhishek Mukherjee, Shilpa Purkait under Professor Ravi Ranjan Chattopadhyay, Vijayamba R under Professor Madhura Swaminathan, Shubhasree Nayak under Professor Madhura Swaminathan, Sanjukta Chakraborty under Professor Dhurjyoti Prasad Sengupta. I'll also read out the names of the research fellows and personnel who have been awarded PhD degree by academic bodies other than ISI for work done in ISI with externally funded fellowship. Ipshita Basu at the University of Calcutta under Professor Shushmita Mukhopadhyay. Sayantan Nag Chaudhuri at the University of Calcutta under Dr. Dibakar Ghosh. Shinchan Ghosh at Vishwabharati under Professor Shobhasachhi Bhattacharya and Professor Shantanu Roy. Joyita Chakraborty at the University of Calcutta under Dr. Raghunath Chatterjee. Arnab Paul at the University of Calcutta under Professor Supratik Pal. Mir Alimuddin from the University of Calcutta under Professor Preeti Parashar.
I now request our Dean of Studies to give the vote of thanks.
Professor Shankar Kumar Pal, President ISI, Professor Sir David Spiegelhalter, Chief Guest, Dr. G.P. Shamanto, Special Guest, Professor Sanghamitra Bandopadhyay, Director ISI, distinguished guests, colleagues, graduating students, current students, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasant duty and proud privilege to offer a vote of thanks on this momentous occasion, the 57th Convocation of the Indian Statistical Institute. First and foremost, I wish to convey our gratitude to the President of the Institute, Professor Pal, for delivering the welcome address, for presiding over the entire function, and of course, for awarding the degrees and diplomas. We are grateful to you, sir, for being present amongst us on this occasion, and we look forward to your continued support and guidance. We have been extremely fortunate to have as our chief guest the very distinguished statistician, Professor Sir David Spiegelhalter, FRS OBE, the chair of the Winton Center for Risk and Evidence Communication at the University of Cambridge. Professor Spiegelhalter, sir, please accept our deepest gratitude for gracing this occasion with your august presence and for an absorbing convocation address in which you share your experiences and insights as a statistician. It is a matter of great pride for us to have as a special guest today Dr. G.P. Shamanto, an alumnus of our institute, who currently occupies the distinguished position of the Chief Statistician of India, as well as the Secretary of the, and is also the Secretary of the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation of the Government of India. We are extremely appreciative of him for having spared some of his valuable time to be here with us today. I would like to thank Professor Sanghamitra Bandopadhyay, Director ISI, for providing continuous support, guidance, encouragement and resources that have facilitated the smooth planning and execution of this event. My sincere thanks are due to Lieutenant Colonel Shandip Pal, the officiating Chief Executive, Administration and Finance, for providing constant support in all administrative arrangements required to make this convocation a success. An event of this magnitude and importance cannot be staged successfully without weeks and even months of careful planning and execution. I would like to put on record my deepest appreciation of the tireless dedication and invaluable commitment from each and every member of the staff of the Dean's Office towards ensuring flawless arrangements. I acknowledge with the deepest gratitude all assistance, support and cooperation that the Dean's Office received from faculty members of scientific units and administrative staff members of the Director's Office, the Office of the CEANF, the Estate Office, the Electrical Maintenance Unit, the Engineering Unit, the Printing and Publication Unit, the Reprography Unit, the Audiovisual Unit, the Public Relations Unit, the Binding Unit, the Guest House and the ISI Club. I would like to make special mention of and acknowledge with thanks the support provided by the Computer and Statistical Service Center, or CSSC, in arranging for the live streaming of this convocation over YouTube, which I'm sure has brought the event closer to faculty, staff and students at other centers and branches, as well as to alumni and well-wishers. I also thank representatives of the media for their coverage of our convocation. My special thanks are due to all our students, graduating and current. Without their enthusiastic participation and assistance, this convocation would not have been such a success. Finally, I would like to convey my heartfelt congratulations to all the recipients of various degrees, diplomas and awards for their academic achievements. I wish them the very best in their future endeavors. Thank you all once again.
I declare the 57th Convocation of the Indian Statistical Institute closed.
Please rise for the national anthem. After the anthem, everyone is requested to remain standing in front of his or her seat to allow the academic procession to leave the arena. Please stay back for a few announcements. All awardees or guests are requested to go to the Amropali lawn for high tea. All awardees are requested to go to the 5th floor of the SN Bose Bhavan to return the gowns and receive mark sheets before the convocation dinner, which will start at 7 p.m. at the guest house lawn. Awardees should be able to access convocation photographs from the ISI website from tomorrow. Thank you.